Colin has been injured for a lot of the summer and the early parts of our training camp, I guess. So it's hard to get a sense for exactly where he is right now. He hasn't been out there that much. None of the injuries are serious. He had a concussion, which I guess was a serious injury, kept him out for a couple of weeks in the summer. He didn't play in our scrimmage this past weekend because he had a little flare up of his Achilles. But he's one of the most athletic guys we got, and that was clear with the Shocktoberfest and his performance in the dunk contest. You know what I think will be the thing that we see from Colin this year is his confidence will be better. He won't be adjusting to everything like Ege's doing now. And I think he can focus on doing the things that he does best. Last year, Colin didn't shoot the ball particularly well. I think he's going to be a lot better because his confidence is better. Part of the reason his confidence is better is because his body's better. He got a lot stronger. Last year, he got too thin, lost some weight, and we probably didn't recognize that early enough. He spent his off-season working hard on improving that, so I think he's going to have a good year too. And then the one guy that we didn't mention, who's a newcomer, or I think we mentioned him, but we didn't talk about him much, is Dominique Dunning. And Dominique has been excellent. You know, he's really had a strong impact on our team. Even though he won't play this year, adding a kid with his talent level and his toughness is really, really important for us. He pushes guys because physically he's bigger and stronger on the perimeter than really anybody else who's playing out there. And you know, he comes from a great high school program where he was really effective, and there's a lot of different things that he does that have an impact on how the team he's with, performs on the court. You know, he makes a lot of plays both on offense and defense that will mean that he fits into our team really well when we have him next year. And he helps us this year.
And if you're a faithful Anteater fan, you know the names Mike Wilder, Damon Starring, Derek Flowers, and Adam Folker. Very quickly, what are the expectations that you've placed on your senior class this year?
Well, those guys all have strong expectations of themselves, and that's the first thing, because those are my four captains. You know, they need to be great leaders by example and walk the walk. There's a lot of pressure on that I know they feel as seniors. You know, it's their last time, and they want very badly to leave a mark here at UC Irvine and in the basketball program with how they perform together, and that's something that they've talked a lot about, we've talked a lot about, and that they're backing up right now, and I'm really pleased about it. I don't think any of them's missed a single minute or play in practice, and showing that physical and mental toughness is a great example for their young teammates. Each of those guys has the opportunity to affect our team in different ways, and I'm pleased with all of them right now. You know, they all bring different things to the table. I guess I should talk for a moment about each one of them and where they are. I'll start with Folker. You know, he was the Hustle Player of the Year in the conference last year, which says a lot about him. And he's the hardest worker on our team probably, but not by a lot. I mean, all four of those seniors are working really hard. Adam has he has a great voice for the game, with his teammates. He doesn't say a lot all the time, but the things he says go a long way because everybody on his team sees how committed he is, both on and off the floor, to doing the things that it's going to take for him and for our team to be successful. I couldn't be much happier with how he's approached everything. He's our best defender on the interior. Offensively, he's gotten so much better in the time that I've been here, and I feel like the way that we play has become a great fit for him. He's a really fine pick and roll player now. He's more effective in the post now than he's ever been in his career here, and that's on the offensive side. We know he's going to work hard and be an offensive rebounder, but defensively he's been an anchor for us. So I'm really, really happy with what he's doing. Damon Starring is also off to a really fine start, and I've told Damon that I expect him to take on more of a scorer's mentality with this team. I think he has the talent to do that, and he really stepped up and kind of rescued us last year when we were really struggling by merging into that role. And I want him to continue to think that way. At times I think Damon's a little bit too unselfish on offense, and so I want him to be aggressive for his own shots. I don't think there's anybody on our team would ever accuse Damon of being selfish, and that's one of the great qualities that he brings, is he's an outstanding teammate. He has defensive ability as well as offensive ability, and that's what I like about these seniors. They're all good defenders. So Damon is going to have a great year, I think. He's worked really, really hard on his jump shot and his ball handling, and he's consistently shot the ball well throughout his career. I think where he's got the opportunity to show the most improvement is in getting to the free throw line and finishing in his shots at the basket and a little bit in the mid-range. But he's worked hard on that all summer. Mike Wilder, I can't say enough about him either. It's hard to figure out what order to go in with those guys. I could put any one of those guys first, second, third, fourth, whatever. But Mike has, been incredibly solid for us. We're probably going to use him more as a perimeter player this year than as a post player, which will be a relief to him. But it would be foolish for us to not utilize at times what he gives us as someone who can guard bigger guys and stretch the floor on offense. So finding that right balance is going to be a trick. But clearly he's one of our top perimeter players right now, and that's both on offense and defense. The strength that he has is hard to measure. He doesn't really have a basketball body, but he has strength in that body that is overwhelming for guys at times, and that's fun to watch. And he's got one of the prettiest jump shots, that we have in the conference. So we wanted to get those shots. We've worked with him on that. He's really committed to making his release quicker and to building a shot fake into his game. So I'm excited with the things that he's doing. And then Derek Flowers is the most positive guy I got on a day-to-day basis, and that's a skill. It's a skill that I probably could learn a little bit from. That's not exactly the way I go about everything, but I'm glad that we got Flo doing it that way, and I'm excited for what he can do this year. He's maybe the fastest kid in the league, and he's got the ability to be an incredible pest defensively. Really get under guys' skin and make plays, and he's developing into a steadier point guard, which is what I've asked for him to do, is to be more conscious of his turnovers. But finding that right balance is tricky, because he's got to be aggressive to be good, and he's got to be aggressive and confident to make plays. He showed me a lot when he went from not starting in the 7th, 8th, 9th game last year to starting the ones right after that, and he led us to a couple early conference victories and a Player of the Week award in the conference. And I'm looking for big things for him in his senior year, and I think he's ready.
His game really grew between 2 years, so I'm also excited to see him in his senior year. And sorry, Chris Mack, we didn't mean to overlook you, and that was my fault.
We weren't going to overlook him. Yeah, I knew that we hadn't gotten him yet.
We need to touch on Chris McNeely.
Yeah. I'm happy with C-Mac too. He had an injury right before our training camp started, and he's still bouncing back from that. He's going to be fine. He just, I forget exactly who somebody banged into him, and it scared us. I think we were all a little bit scared standing in practice, but he ended up being fine, and our doctors and sports medicine guys done a great job. He's back out on the floor, maybe not quite as fully aggressive today as he will be when our season starts, but he's just an excellent all-around player. And he's a confidence guy. You saw all of our fans saw his confidence surging at the end of last season, and that culminated obviously in him getting named to the all-conference tournament team. I expect him to pick up where he left off last year. We don't have to demand that he score for our team, but he does have the ability to do different things than some of our other players do. And it seems like I'm talking about the offensive side a lot of the time before the defensive side, but what he brings us defensively is maybe more important, because he can create deflections and steals and offensive opportunities for us with what he can do defensively. And last year, the people who watched closely could see that we moved him to guard Casper Ware, the player of the year in our conference, in the last game, and Chris shut him down and didn't let him have the ball in any of his sweet spots. And we're going to need Chris to take on a role like that defensively, really in every game we play, and also to be someone who's a go-to guy for us at times on offense. I think he's ready to do both. He's shooting the ball really well. His mid-range game is much improved, and he got contact lenses, so now he's going to make more layups.
We did hear about the contact lenses from Damon last year.
And I really do think that that's a factor. I think that his vision being better gives him more confidence, especially finishing basketballs around the hole.
Very quickly, let's just touch on the schedule. You're at UCLA, you're at USC, you have Southern Miss, who was a NCAA qualifier last year, you have LSU. Talk about the non-conference portion of your schedule very quickly.
Well, obviously it's a difficult schedule, and we knew that. it's really difficult. I mean, it's so difficult that I worry, what our record may be like going into the into the conference season. I worry about that, I guess, on a personal level, and for the mentality of my guys. I think it's going to make. There's no question it's going to make us stronger. And what we know we need to do is be at our competitive best when Big West play starts. I think we'll be that. I don't want to make it sound like I'm not confident in our ability to rise up and hopefully knock off a few of those teams. We have a team that is balanced. We have a team that is together and has good chemistry, and we have a team with some experience. So we got a number of elements that would lead you to think that we ought to be able to play well in some of these games and hopefully win them. I'm especially excited about our opportunity to play Nevada November 10th at the Brent Center. I hope that will be a game that our students and our university community will really come out and support. They're an excellent team. I think that'll be a great test for us, and hopefully an opportunity for us to create a basketball home court environment that'll be really special and can lead to some strength for us in that area during the conference season. But we've also got LSU coming in here in December when the students aren't here. But I think that's another opportunity for basketball fans in Orange County to see us against a high-quality opponent. I'm excited for that.
I'm going to twist your arm and put you on the spot a little bit, but if you were starting the schedule today, who would be your starting five?
Good question. And probably something a lot of people are curious about. It would be hard after a week of practice to not go with my four seniors and somebody. And C-Mac's been a little bit hurt, and that would mean we start a small team. If we started him too, but I don't know, and I think that's it's a little bit of a dodge, but I really don't know, and I don't think that this year necessarily we're going to start the same group over and over again like I've wanted to do in the past. I think this year's team's very different. We have depth in this team, and we have the ability to play different ways, and we've had a lot of discussions as a staff about how we're going to manage that question: who's going to start. And what's going to be required for our team is that different guys make sacrifices at different times. Hopefully we'll have all 16 guys available to us every game. That likely won't be the case. One of the strengths of this team should be its depth and our ability, to match up differently with different teams is one that I'm really excited about. And we've got a lot of different guys who can contribute in different ways. And once we do have everybody 100%, that'll be a tough question. Is who starts? It'll be an even tougher question: who finishes? And that's what I'll remind you matters more. Is who we got in the game there at the end. But we'll have 5 good players. Both at the start and the finish. Who they'll be, I'm not quite sure yet.